your weekly shot of Gen AI news.
Hey everyone, ready for a quick but insightful look at what went down in AI this week. We've got a pretty interesting mix of advancements and maybe some things that'll make you think twice.
Yeah, it's pretty wild how fast things are changing.
It really is.
This week, we're looking at tools that could make AI much easier for businesses and even a brand new language model that's breaking barriers. So let's dive right in.
Let's kick things off with Lightning AI.
Okay.
They're making some waves by turning the PyTorch Lightning framework, the one developers love, into something businesses can actually use.
It's really cool how they've done that. You have this super powerful open source tool, but it's not exactly easy for companies to actually implement, for their AI solutions. Lightning AI comes in and basically says, hey, we're an all-in-one platform that makes the whole process way simpler.
That's awesome.
And they've already got some big names backing them up, like NVIDIA and Stability AI are already on board, and a massive community of over 230,000 developers.
Wow, that's a lot of brain power.
Yeah.
And I really like that they're making it accessible with the pay-as-you-go model and even a free tier.
Yeah.
They're definitely shooting for the stars, especially with that $50 million funding round they just got.
Ambitious for sure. They've raised over $100 million in total now and are projecting some pretty big revenue goals for next year. It'd be interesting to see what they do with it all.
Totally. Now let's switch gears a bit to something that's not just about the tech itself, but also about culture and representation. Amalia.
Okay.
The very first large language model designed specifically for the Portuguese language.
This is a huge step, not just for the tech, but for Portuguese-speaking communities everywhere. Think about what this could mean. Better healthcare, more personalized education, even smoother government services.
Yeah.
All of it tailored to their specific language and culture.
It's set to launch in phases, with a beta version in early 2025 and the full release the year after. It's seriously impressive to see all the collaboration behind it, involving institutions like Nova FCT and Instituto Superior Técnico. They're even using computing resources all the way in Barcelona.
That's amazing. It really shows how global AI development is and how important these kinds of partnerships are.
Definitely. This isn't just about building another language model. It's about opening up access to technology and its benefits to a whole new part of the world.
I completely agree.
Now, while Amalia is all about accessibility, there's another AI development this week that's got people talking about potential misuse. Voice cloning.
Oh, right.
Microsoft's getting ready to launch a new tool for Teams that uses this tech for real-time translation.
So picture this. You're on a Teams call with people from all over the world. This new interpreter tool, they're saying it'll be out in early 2025, can actually clone your voice to translate what you're saying in 9 different languages.
Yeah, and it's pretty incredible from a tech standpoint. And Microsoft's making it clear that users have to give permission to have their voice cloned and that they won't be storing any biometric data.
Right.
But the fact that we can now clone voices so convincingly is definitely a bit unnerving.
It makes you think, right? I mean, we've already seen how deepfakes can be used in some pretty harmful ways, from spreading misinformation to even those realistic sounding scams.
Exactly.
As this tech gets even better and easier to use, we really need to be careful about how it's used.
It's a reminder that every time we take a step forward in AI, we have to think about the potential downsides and figure out how to deal with them.
Absolutely. Ethics needs to be a top priority in AI development, especially as this stuff becomes more powerful and a bigger part of our lives.
Couldn't agree more. Now, for something a bit lighter, let's talk about a company that's really shaking things up when it comes to AI models. Mistral.
Okay.
They're a French startup that just came out with 2 new models, Pixel Large and Mistral Large 24.11.
Mm-hmm.
And they're kind of setting their sights on some of the big players like Claude and GPT-4.
The cool thing about Mistral is their focus on multimodal capabilities.
Right.
This means their models can work with all sorts of data, like text, images, even audio. It opens up a whole world of possibilities. Think about it. Instead of just writing text, you could have an AI help you design a logo, analyze a really complicated document, even create images based on your ideas, all within the same platform.
They've also made some pretty big improvements to their platform, Le Chat, adding things like web search, a Canvas tool, PDF analysis, and even image generation, which is powered by Black Forest Labs' Flux Pro integration.
And get this, they're all about affordability and practicality.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mistral's goal is to make AI more accessible for everyone, not just the huge tech companies or research labs.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They've already raised a ton of funding, $640 million to be exact, and they're offering flexible licensing options for both research and commercial use.
So they really are trying to make AI work for everyone.
Yeah, it's a different approach, that's for sure. It'll be really interesting to see how they do in this, increasingly competitive world.
It will. Finally, let's talk about a company that's taking voice cloning to a whole new level.
Okay, which one?
ElevenLabs. They're going beyond just copying voices. They're creating a full-blown conversational AI platform.
Now, that's interesting. So you're saying instead of just having an AI that can sound like you could actually build your own custom AI agents, each with their own voice, tone, and even specific responses.
Exactly. Imagine a chatbot for your business that sounds, super friendly and helpful.
Right.
Or a virtual assistant that sounds like, I don't know, your favorite celebrity.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They've made it really flexible too, letting users pick from different language models like Gemini, GPT, and Claude. Plus, they have custom knowledge bases and support for all sorts of programming languages.
That's incredible. It's like they've given you everything you need to build your own AI dream team.
And with a potential valuation of over $3 billion, it's clear investors are pretty excited about what ElevenLabs is doing.
Yeah, you don't see numbers like that every day. It's definitely a sign that people are paying attention.
Definitely. So there you have it, a quick rundown of this week's biggest AI news. We've covered a lot of ground, from tools that could revolutionize how businesses use AI to advancements that are pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible. And of course, we can't forget about those ethical questions that keep popping up as this technology keeps evolving.
It's an exciting time to be following AI, that's for sure. It seems like there's a new breakthrough every week.
It really does. It'll be fascinating to see what the coming weeks and months bring. But for now, that's a wrap on this week's Deep Dive.
Until next time. It really makes you think, doesn't it? Like, not just about the technology itself, but how it could actually change the way we interact with computers, and maybe even with each other.
Yeah, like imagine a world where you could have personalized AI companions, tutors, therapists even. It's kind of mind-blowing.
It is.
But it definitely makes you stop and think about the ethical implications,
Yeah.
As AI becomes more and more a part of our lives, we really need to make sure it's being developed and used responsibly.
I totally agree. We can't just get caught up in the wow factor and forget about the potential consequences. Privacy, bias, the possibility of someone using it for the wrong reasons, those are some serious issues we need to be talking about.
Definitely. So as we wrap up our look at this week's AI news, what stood out to you the most?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Each of these stories is so different and has its own implications, but if I had to pick one, I think the launch of Amalia was pretty special.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a perfect example of how AI can be used to bridge cultural divides and make tech more inclusive.
I see what you mean. It's a move towards a more diverse and representative AI landscape, which is awesome. And it shows that AI really can benefit everyone, no matter what language they speak or where they come from.
Absolutely. And while those personalized AI agents from ElevenLabs sound super cool, it also makes you wonder about what it means for human interaction,
Right.
Will we become too reliant on AI companions? Will it change how we talk to each other?
Those are some big questions. And we definitely need to keep thinking about them as AI keeps advancing. It's like we're at this point where things are changing so fast, and it's not always clear what the right path forward is.
I agree. It's not enough to just create new tech. We have to understand the impact it's having and make sure it's actually making the world a better place for everyone.
Well said. This week's news definitely gave us a lot to think about. From how businesses can use AI more effectively with tools like Lightning AI, to the cultural significance of Amalia and the ethical considerations around things like voice cloning and those personalized AI agents. AI is constantly pushing boundaries.
And that's what makes it so fascinating to follow. It's a field that's constantly evolving and has the potential to completely change the world. But it's up to us to make sure those changes are for the better and help all of humanity.
I like that. To all our listeners out there, we encourage you to dig a little deeper into these topics. You can find links to all the original articles and resources in our show notes. We'd love to hear what you think too. What are you most excited about? What are you worried about? Share your thoughts with us on social media or through our website.
Yeah, it's like we're standing at this point where everything's changing and we need to be, both excited and cautious at the same time.
Exactly. It's a tricky balance.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important for everyone to really stay informed and engaged with all these changes.
Right.
Because the future of AI, it's not set in stone, it's being shaped by the choices we make right now.
So true. We all have a part to play in this, whether it's learning about these advancements, asking tough questions, or even, speaking up for responsible development and use.
Yeah, it's about making sure that AI is a tool that helps us, not the other way around.
That's a perfect way to put it. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into the world of AI. It's been a fascinating look at what's happening. It really has. Always a pleasure to explore these things with you.
And to everyone listening, keep exploring, keep asking those questions, and keep learning. We'll be back next week with another deep dive into all the latest developments in AI. Until then, stay curious.
And stay engaged.
Espresso. AI. Espresso. AI. Espresso. Your weekly shot of Gen AI news.